Welcome to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff, DiVeronica and Steve Bradley back in studio here. Hello, Mr. Bradley.
Good day.
Good morning as we record this,
It
right?
is.
And we've got our next episode is going to feature, as we record this, the only unbeaten team in Section 5 boys basketball in Class AA, the Victor Blue Devils. We're going to have Coach Tyler Roberts on with a couple of his captains and we're recording this the morning after a big win over Aquinas, which was they were 1-2 in Class AA at the time, and probably still will be when you watch this. But there's only 3 unbeatens left in Section 5, Steve, and Victor is one of them, and a contender again under Coach Roberts, who's in his 6th season, and a very well put together team, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very well balanced. Don't have that superstar player that maybe in the past years, that one player that you focus on. Go back a couple years ago when they had Phil, and they had
we're just gonna go with Phil.
Big Cozy too. I mean, this is a different kind of team, but when you make it to the 2/3 of the way through the season and you got a 0 in that loss column, things are going your way.
They got a big stretch coming up on the road, but they've been really good at home, and all their close games have been at home too. 54-53 over Penfield in a game where the Patriots rallied and came back. 55-51 over Aquinas last night, Friday night. And then the only other single-digit win was 9 points over Mendon early in mid-January on the 18th. So let's bring on our specialties Skype hotline. You'll be able to see 2 of our 3 guests. And then let's first welcome on Tyler Roberts. He's in his 6th season as coach of the Blue Devils. There he is up at the top. And then a leading scorer, Garrett Clar, junior guard, who had a terrific night last night. And then you can't see his face, but you're going to hear his voice. Clar Queri joins us also. He's a senior captain. And again, this is a guard. Don't smile too much, Garrett. Come on. Maybe he's having a bad hair day or something. No, we couldn't. Technology failed us here. We couldn't get AJ on, but we can hear him and we'll speak to him. AJ, we're going to give you the first question, in fact, AJ. AJ, big win over Aquinas. What did you 55-51? What did you like about the way your team played last night? And then we'll pass the baton around to the other guys too. But AJ Queri, senior captain, tell us about last night's win.
I mean, we all play together and we communicate very well, so it's always fun. We all love playing together. We have the best chemistry, I feel, in Section 5. So whenever we're in those tight situations, we all come together and we're ready to play when it's close.
Garrett, what does the big game experience mean to your team as you build towards sectionals with your last 6 or 7 regular season games and then the playoffs?
You know, growing up, we've obviously played in a ton of close games, but, you know, this year we've had a bunch of double-digit wins, so we haven't had as much experience, but just getting the experience in those tight games and, you know, how to be clutch in the end and just shooting free throws while the pressure's on and just being able to execute when it really matters is certainly going to give us an advantage on the road, I think.
You scored 17 of your 24 points against Aquinas in the second half. Came up big there. And Coach Roberts, I want to ask you a little about Garrett's effectiveness this season for you. And also, Coach, are you kind of happy to get some close games under your belt? You welcome the challenges instead of just the blowouts.
We'll take them however we can get them. But yeah, I was proud of our guys last night for pulling together, and Garrett's done a great job thriving in his role this year, and we've needed him to score, and he's stepped up to the plate and done a great job playing on 2 feet and playing under control, taking care of the ball. And, you know, he's shooting something like 75% effective field goal percentage. So he's taking great shots and team first player, just like all our guys, and improving on defense. So I'm proud of this group, and I'm proud of the win last night.
Coach, what do you like most about this group as they get ready to make this stretch run?
They're very competitive. They get after each other in practice. They're committed. They're smart. They've played a lot of basketball together, and I'm looking forward to how we play Wednesday night and how we practice on Monday.
Got a big stretch of games coming up on the road, but just to close the book on the Aquinas game, and we'll ask you a little bit about Aquinas too, but this was our Pittsford Pub Game of the Week. Again, top 2 teams in AA coming into this game. Aquinas hit a bit of a bump here. They lost a few in a row. They're down to 9-4, but Michael White had 16 points, and they got Chris Lysath back in the lineup. He had all 12 of his points in the second half. Coach, real quick, what makes the Aquinas the Lyra such a threat to, I mean, maybe you'll see them again in the postseason, but what makes them tough?
They're a very well-coached team. They've got a lot of good players. They play downhill in transition as well as anybody we play against. Mike Howell's an absolute monster in transition. And they create a lot of points off their turnovers, a lot of points off their defense. So they turn you over and get easy baskets. And we felt like if we could limit that last night, we'd be in good shape. But if we play them again, we'll definitely have to have a different plan.
AJ, you mentioned this team has a lot of togetherness. When teams are successful, players seem to know and accept their roles. What's your role on this team?
Yeah, so last year I was a starter, but coming off the bench this year, it's been a big change. But for sure, it's just coming on and keeping that spark off the bench, because most teams don't have depth, but with our depth, it's fun coming off the bench and getting my shots up.
Garrett, so that's interesting. A lot of kids couldn't do that, Coach and Garrett. But AJ here went from starter to sixth man or backup. And Garrett, what message does that say to the other kids on this team when you have a guy a senior captain who elects to come off the bench like that? What kind of message does that send to the other guys?
I think it just really speaks to the unselfishness of our team as a whole, and that he doesn't care whether he starts or not, or how many points, or what his role is. Honestly, he's ready to contribute in any way possible. And I think that's really the message throughout our whole team. Coach,
how does your team get that buy-in? Because we all know this day and age where everybody wants theirs. That's not an easy message to get across. What does that say about AJ to buy in like that, and the team to have that kind of character?
Yeah, I'm very proud of AJ and the way he's thrived in his role this year and done exactly what the team needs. We talk about doing our best, being attentive and putting the team first every day throughout our whole program. And I really think it's a tribute to our entire travel program, our modified JV program. All the coaches are on board with the team first mentality. And that's what it's going to take for us to win. It's not going to be a single player. It's not going to be a single coach, a single team. It's going to be, we're going to have to make everyone play all of Victor every single night.
We're going to talk a little movies on the other side of the break, Steve. Okay. I want to make sure you know that. But I also want to thank again the Pittsford Pub for sponsoring our program. It's a great place to watch ball games, get a great bite to eat. And thank you for the Pittsford Pub, to their management, their ownership, and their staff for supporting what we do here and talk about high school sports every week. Let's take a quick break off our specialties hotline and come back and talk more about Victor basketball right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show.
The best three things here at McQuaid are definitely the sports, the brotherhood, and the service to community. I think that's a really big, important thing that McQuaid stresses, which is part of creating a better and great man. You definitely feel a connection with your fellow students here. It's being all guy school. You're able to relate to each other on a personal level, and everyone's very welcoming here with open arms and willing to be your friend.
While we celebrate 140 years of serving our community, the kind of delicious joy that lasts a lifetime, we look forward to serving you for 140 more. With hardworking, wholehearted, passionate people who will help shape new memories for generations to come.
You don't choose to get hurt at work, but you can choose the workers' comp attorneys at Connors and Ferris to fight for your money and medical benefits you deserve.
With over 20 years of industry experience, we will give your case our undivided attention so that you and your family can focus on your recovery.
So call Connors and Ferris, the workers' comp attorneys dedicated to fighting for injured workers' rights.
Connors and Ferris, your workers' comp attorneys.
Have you visited Roberts Wesleyan University yet? We were voted the Rochester Business Journal Best Undergraduate Program in 2022 by their readers. At Roberts, you'll find an academically inspiring environment led by supportive, high-quality professors. Discovery Days are scheduled for January 16th, February 20th, March 8th, and April 14th. Schedule a virtual visit or an individual visit. Our Saturday visits are February 11th, March 4th, and April 1st. Learn about what you may want to pursue to shape your future forward. Schedule a visit at roberts.edu/visit.
Hi, this is Jeff DiVeronica. I'd like to tell you about my friends from Doyle Security. We lost my father-in-law a few years ago, and that meant my mother-in-law was going to be alone in her house. One of my first calls was to Doyle. Doyle has an award-winning burglary detection system, and that gave her peace of mind again. It gave her comfort. These days, you can't put a price tag on that. Whether it's for your family or yourself, at any stage of your life, Doyle is there for you. For seniors, Doyle offers a personally enabled GPS emergency response system. They have a full array of smart systems, including fire and carbon monoxide detection, security cameras, and more for your home or business. More than 35,000 families and businesses rely on Doyle every day and every night. Family owned and operated for more than 100 years, you don't have that kind of staying power unless you're doing something right. To learn more, call 1-866-GO-DOYLE or visit godoyle.com.
Local McDonald's operators care about our local schools, teams, and student athletes. That's why they support the return of high school athletics in the Rochester area and around the state. See you before or after the big game at McDonald's. Welcome back, Section 5. Game on!
Why do you exercise? To look better? To feel better? To drop a few pounds? To train for an event? To defy age? Or to keep your ability to say yes to the things you love to do? Whatever motivates you, G&G Fitness Equipment is here to get you there. Treadmills, ellipticals, rowers, bikes, home gyms, and accessories. We'll pair you with the right equipment, teach you how to use it, and be there every step of your fitness journey. G&G Fitness. Your goal is our goal.
Welcome back to the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. Jeff DiVeronica and Steve Bradley here. My 20th season talking high school sports on the air in some capacity. And Steve Bradley, my former boss at the Democrat and Chronicle. Happy to have you on as our co-host now for a couple seasons. Steve, it's a good team, Victor, right? We talked about that big win over Aquinas. They got to go to the road now. They're going to play at Thomas, at Hilton, at McQuaid. In fact, they've got, and then they host my Ironquois Eagles on February 6th. 4 games in 6-day stretch. Coach Roberts, that's a lot of games in a short span. How do you change, or do you change how you do things practice-wise in the week ahead to keep these guys fresh?
Yeah, we just take a one day at a time approach, and we're just focused on our first game Wednesday night, and then we'll figure it out from there. We've got a smart team. We're deep. We've got a lot of guys that can step up, so I expect everyone on our team to contribute.
Garrett, you missed 13 games last season with an injury. Can you maybe take us through that, what happened, and then the recovery process, and to be back where you are now on top of your game?
Yeah, so during the third game of the year last season, I had a stress fracture in my left foot that caused me to miss like 13 games or so. And I was able to come back right at the end of the year and get ready for sectionals, but it really just speaks to how you really just have to embrace the moment, and you can't take anything for granted, because just like that, your whole season could be gone, or you really just never know what can happen. So it really made me appreciate this year, every time on the court, just enjoying the atmosphere we're in and just the success I've been able to experience with my teammates.
From where I sit, a stress fracture is one of the most difficult injuries, because when I've had those before, and the best method for that is rest. And you don't always feel like you don't know where you are in terms of being able to come back. Was that a challenge that you faced?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, someone who's played basketball my whole life, it's never easy to just be told to rest for a 2-month stretch or so. But I was in a boot for a while, so I think that definitely made it easier. But the recovery process, I thought I was pretty lucky in, and it was actually pretty quick for me. So I was able to get back a week or so after I was out of the boot and get right back to playing.
Coach Roberts, obviously a deep roster. You use a lot of guys. You guys all share the basketball. Tell us about some of the guys on this roster who've been big contributors this year.
Yeah, we've got great contributions off the bench from AJ and Brennan Hopkins, Owen Dake, Jack Lucchesi, Justin Rossello, Rondo. We've got different guys in the starting lineup. Ryan Dodge, who hit 2 big free throws last night, and he's a great defender. Nick Leonard inside, tremendous passer, rebounder, and Cam Ryan, who's been a steady point guard and scoring option for us this year. And he's an outstanding defender, and he really helps our team tick. And then, of course, Griffin Hopkins, another scoring option, and
13-0, AJ. Some teams like shy away from that 0, and other teams embrace it. How do you guys feel about that?
We love it. At least when we talk, we all know that our goal is every single game, next game, focus on the next game. But if we just keep winning, then it could. I hope for an undefeated season.
Garrett, let me take you back to last year. You guys are in line to be the number 1 seed again if you guys finish strong here. And again, the road is not easy. You got Thomas on the road, Hilton on the road, McQuaid on the road. Then you host Rondequoit, which is 14-1 as we record this, at Fairport, never easy. Host Brighton, and then you finish at Rush Henrietta. Y'all were 19-1 last year going to the quarterfinals, Garrett, and Rush Henrietta clipped you. How much have you all carried the weight of that loss with you, and have you used it as fuel?
Yeah, I think that loss really motivates us every day in practice and during the games. That we never want to see that happen again. Obviously it was very disappointing, just a heartbreaking loss, but I think it really helped us to grow as a team and realize that you can't take any games for granted during the season, and any team can be any team on any given night.
Garrett, teams always look to get better as the season goes on. How has your team improved since the beginning of the season, and what steps do you want to see them take in this last stretch here?
All the credit has to go out to the coaching staff and our teammates during practice for just getting us better each and every day. I think the game plan during practice is really just focused on making sure that we can improve so that when the end of the season hits, we're playing our best basketball. But as we continue to come down the stretch and head towards sectionals, I think everyone's just looking to continue to improve, and hopefully we can fix, some of the holes we've had so far.
All right, we're gonna play a little movie trivia here real quick. AJ and Garrett, have you seen the movie Hoosiers?
Yes.
Garrett says yes. AJ?
I think.
AJ, that was not very decisive, AJ. It's a story about small town Indiana, and they go on to this.
AJ, do you know what the picket fence is?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's my favorite movie. And Coach, this is a high compliment. I love that movie, and I love that team because it's 5 Pistons working together. No one player more important than the other. Guys buying into defense, guys buying into sharing the ball and passing the ball. And 4 passes? Was it 4 passes? 4 passes before we take a shot. Coach, is that the way you coach basketball? I mean, that sounds like that's what this Victor team's all about.
We don't talk about 4 passes before a shot, but we definitely emphasize paint touches before a shot. And it's just statistically proven that when you get a paint touch before a shot, your shooting percentage goes up, your points per possession goes up. And so that's a big emphasis for us. But
this guy's
if we
analytics.
get a paint touch with no passes, we'll take it. It's just we have to play together to score.
Coach, who are some of your influences as a coach? I mean, modern day, it's not easy. Who do you pattern your style after?
Yeah, a big influence on me has been my coaches growing up, Coach Pelzic, Coach Falvell, Coach Benaquatro, and Rochester college basketball coaches, Coach Flakurtzy, Coach McVane, Coach Broderick. They've been outstanding coaches in the Rochester area, and we're super fortunate to have such great college coaches that coach at an extremely high level. And I would say Coach Flakurtzy and Coach Broderick have probably influenced my basketball philosophy the most, and Coach McVane has influenced my overall sort of team management. And I've been very fortunate to learn from those guys.
Where are those guys from? Is Coach Broderick from Canandaigua, or which? I know Coach McVane's
Coach
RIT.
Broderick at NAS.
At NAS, okay.
Yeah. Flakurtzy's at U of R.
Flakurtzy at U of R, and Coach McVane at RIT.
Where did you grow up, Tyler?
Boonville, New York.
Boonville. over
They
in
have the
Central
Woodsman
New York.
Festival up there, I think.
Adirondack
Boonville.
High School.
All right. I went to Canastota, so both
all right.
Class C. I think.
Great.
Class C. I think. Right, you Boonville.
We were B back in the day, so.
Okay. Victor basketball, Coach Roberts, thanks for making some time with us. Good luck. I know you guys are chasing history. 1978, the year of the first Van Halen album, tremendous, and the last time Victor won a Section 5 title. So, Coach Roberts, good luck to you and the Blue Devils. Thanks for being on our show.
Thanks a lot for having us.
AJ, wave to us. It's just a joke, AJ. Sorry. Garrett, thanks for being on our show. And AJ, thanks for being on our show. You guys are good sports, and we wish you guys the best of luck moving forward. Thanks. All right, guys?
Thank you.
Victor boys basketball right here on the Connors and Ferris High School Sports Show. For my co-host, Steve Bradley, and our producer, Joe Brott, thanks for watching us right here on Rock Sports Now on YouTube.